Alive with you. You know I'm alive.
Putting on a clinic on how to share the ball. The 76ers trail. And here's Horford. Harris with it. Now here's Richardson. Embiid lays it up and banks it in. Took advantage of some shoddy defense there. They've got to at least get a finger on it. The Wizard. And with a little over a minute gone, the second half is underway. Pass to Richardson. Inside. Stolen by Mitchell. The Wizard. And some very quick points for him on that possession. 20 points for him. Here's Simmons. 7 points in the game. Third quarter of play with just over a minute and a half gone by. And that's out of bounds. Philadelphia will retain possession. Pass to Richardson. To the middle. Here's Simmons. Now Richardson. Shot clock at 5. Drills it from outside. Nothing but money for him to start the half. They've made all 3 of their shot attempts. Utah calls timeout. Here's Tucker. He hasn't scored yet. That I'm sure will change. And now around 2 minutes gone by in this half. Pass to Mitchell. 3-pointer. The shot is off. Here's Simmons. And here we go. For the lead. Misses the layup. Even with that miss, they're shooting 75% coming out of the break. That's a strong start to the half. Here's Mitchell. Good on the triple. 12 points for him. The screenplay worked ideally there, and I'm not talking about the screenplay you see in a movie theater. Gave him more than enough room to get that shot off. Pass to Richardson. A little over 2.5 minutes off the clock in this final half of play. The Wizard and Utah again with the bucket. Whatever their plan was defensively that time, it didn't work. Not if it results in that shot. Here's Simmons. 7 points in the game. And here is Harris. Here's Richardson. And a miss there on the triple. Boy, even though he missed, you can't give up that kind of a look very often. Here's Tucker. The Wizard misses from short range. A little under 2.5 minutes off the clock now, here in the third. Here's Simmons, and a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here. First trip to the free throw line for him in this one. And the 76ers making a change here. And good on the second, so he makes them both. Here's Gobert. It's up a 3. It's hauled in by Harris. In the third quarter with just over 3.5 minutes off the clock. Here's Simmons. Takes the assist and lays it in. Pick out the pass nicely. He's got 11. They are not rotating nearly quickly enough on defense down low. Gotta get quicker there. And that one's good. This is someone that can really hurt you from long range. He did that to a degree in the first half, and he's doing it now. Pick his packet. A 3 ball. Here's Gobert. And count it. 2 points for the chance for one more at the free throw line. And you know, at the end of the day, Steve, you just have to respect his overall defensive acting. I mean, it's not just one thing he does well at that end. He knows how to guard from A to Z. And that one misses. Here's Simmons. Lays it in without an inch of room around him. 13 points in the game. Well, he certainly isn't the one to blame for them being in the hole. He's been on the money with his game. The Wizard gets it to go from beyond the arc. And he has 28 points for the game. They're getting a bunch of their points outside of the paint. 3 of their last 5 buckets are from 3-point range. Here's Simmons. Pass to Horford. A jumper, and he gets it to go. You know, of the last 6 baskets, 5 have come on the interior. This is major smash mouth basketball, guys. Here's Gobert, and the layup's good off the glass. Guys, good job working it down low and getting a high percentage look there. That's good basketball. Here's Simmons. 13 points in the game. Tipped away. The 76ers making a switch here. Pass to Harris. Richardson with it. 5 on the clock. Corner shot. And it's Wide right. Puts off the rim.
Major defensive lapse right there. And he's not a player you can leave open for a jump shot. You got to stay attached to him. They're lucky he couldn't punish them for it.
Here's Tucker. Here's Mitchell. Off the mark. The points coming in bunches as we wrap up the third quarter. It's been a good one. It's the Jazz. And when we return, we'll get the fourth quarter rolling right here on 2K Sports. Hello and thanks for joining us, folks. The fourth quarter play should begin momentarily. Utah leading. The Wizard. The feather touch on the finger roll. Beautiful. 30 points in the game.
What a top-notch game he's had. He's gotten him in front, and it sure seemed like he's going to keep him there. All by himself, it looks like.
It's tipped. Here's Simmons. Pass to Harris. And here's the break. Here's Mitchell. Smooth as silk on the finger roll.
The shot quality's very good here, and they're making most of them miss out.
Here's Simmons. There's the pick.
With the success they've had rebounding the basketball, they're right where you'd expect them to be. Firmly in control of this game.
Here's Tucker. The Wizard. And the Jazz. Another three.
That's a weapon they've been allowed to use at will today.
Here's Simmons. About a minute and a half through the fourth quarter now. 6 on the shot clock. And so he draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot two. First one falls through. The 76ers making a switch here. That's also good. So he hits both free throws.
Boy, perfect half at the free throw line for them. That'll help their comeback effort for real.
Here's Gobert. It's tipped. And that'll be Utah as it goes out of bounds. Jazz retain possession. And we've made our way through just over a minute and a half in this first quarter. Here's Tucker. Missed himself.
There was just enough defensive pressure to get him off balance and cause that shot to go awry.
Here's Simmons. And he pops him away up off the glass. They got on this roll a while ago, and they just haven't looked back.
Purely from a size standpoint, that is a mismatch that's going to be hard to overcome defensively.
Here's Tucker. Lets it go from deep. That's good.
These defenders had better start closing out on those shooters.
For those just joining us, fourth quarter here, we're just over 2.5 minutes into it. Pass to Harris. Simmons. Horford backing in. Oh, yes, the turnaround.
They're doing their best to erase the deficit here with some smart passes and some good shooting. I mean, those two things go hand in hand. You're going to make shots, and the passes have to be on target and on time.
Here's Gobert. The layup missed. Here's Simmons. Puts the lead pass in front of him. And the basket by Harris.
Oh, Maestro, he is so good at making those lead passes. Like conducting an orchestra.
The Wizard. And it's off from three-point range. 76ers trailing. And that one's good. Simmons. He's got 19.
Oh, I tell you what, nice little run here they're going on.
Here's Tucker. Here's Gobert. 5 to shoot. The Wizard. Here's Simmons. Embiid. And the three off target.
You know, to cut deficits, you got to be making smart basketball plays out there. Taking care of the ball. It's not done by hoisting up bonehead threes like that one.
Got a piece of it. And they're pushing it up. Clarkson. The fast break ends at the rim with the jam. Pass to Harris. Wide open. No good. But they can burn some clock if they want to.
Yeah, maybe buy a little oxygen while they're doing it.
And it's out of bounds for Jazz. Able to retain possession here. And the Jazz making a change here. Shot clock at 6. Here's Gobert. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him. And that hurts as he doesn't get the first one to fall. Trying to focus now on the second. He can't make the second free throw either. Listen both. Now Harris. Here's Simmons. Pick off in midair. Here's Tucker. Down low. Lays it up and in on a nice reverse. They got on this roll a while ago, and they just haven't looked back. Now 8 seconds separating the 2 clocks. Here's Simmons. Number 22. The 76ers again. Can't hit it. The Wizard. It's hauled in by the 76ers.
Fadeaway was the right shot there because he got his attempt away from the defender, but the touch was poor.
Can't cash in from close range. And now for the presentation of the Larry O'Brien Trophy and the Bill Russell Finals MVP Award. Let's go down to NBA Commissioner Adam Silver. And now our attention, we'll turn to the floor and NBA Commissioner Adam Silver for the presentation of the Bill Russell NBA Finals MVP Award.